Who are these 56 people? Of course. Are you sure about it? Where can I get the events photos? Question and the answers are not matching. Groupings doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm back with one more case study review, and this one belongs to Karthik Nayak, who is an architect turned UX designer. If you want your case study to be reviewed as well in a video like this, then head over to my community at nas.io/sapta. I will leave the link in the description. Go and look for this thread which says showcasing design portfolios and sharing feedback. Drop your link out there and I'm going to review one portfolio every week. Before we proceed, I would like to call out that a portfolio alone cannot get you a job. It can at best get you an interview, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here today. I'm going to review this case study as if it was a real one that had come to me in my real job. And at the end, I will also share my verdict if I would call Karthik for an interview for the role of product designer 1 or not. Please note that all the views and opinions that I share in this review are my personal, and it doesn't reflect the views and opinions of my present employer Swiggy or any other company that I might work for in the future. And as usual, I have the consent from Karthik for me to review this in a video like this. So let's get straight to business. Here we are on the case study. It says simplifying event creation on iOS platform, a case study. On iOS platform. How is that important? I don't know. Anyways, let's read through it. It's by Karthik Nayak. And Medium says that it's a 7-minute read, but you all know we are going to take a lot more time than just 7. In this article, I'll be taking you through the decisions I made while redesigning the event creation feature on Circle. Redesign the event creation feature on Circle. Now, what is Circle? Let's see if this answers. Of course, it starts with a header image, which has a glimpse of all the things, which is a nice touch. I've been saying in many of the reviews as well. So I see more and more of you doing it, which is a good touch, of course. So let's proceed. What is Circle? The question that I had in the title is immediately answered. Good stuff out there. Let's see. What is Circle? Circle is a mock project. So it's not a real app. It's a project which Karthik himself had imagined or designed or something. Let's have a look. Circle is a mock project I created to be a one-stop solution for individuals keen on art, music, and dance to craft and book events while connecting with like-minded people. Okay, so the Circle app is a mock project which is all about events where people can book events while connecting with like-minded people, right? Okay, the event is designed for small-scale user-generated events such as music jams, dance practices, and art workshops, often lasting less than a day. Okay, so the USP of this product, it's an events app where people can go maybe look for events and all, but this is specifically made for events that are small-scale, smaller events, not something that has been organized by larger organizations, is the sense that I'm getting out here. Okay, it aids users in finding the right venues, including specialized studios or underutilized spaces, fostering connection among people with shared interest. To see the earlier version of this concept for some context, please check the presentation. No, I'll not. See, these are two versions of the project that you yourself had made, right? For a redesigned project, I always suggest that, you compare with what was existing versus what is present today. But that is true for an app which already exists, right? It's like, hey, it's an app which is already probably well designed by a professional team, and then you are fixing something in it. That itself means that, okay, you're finding fault in something, or you're trying to make something better that already exists, done and dusted or approved and all. So there, how you are making that improvement, it makes sense. But in your case, it is the same app which you had made. So you might have made some mistakes in the past, and now you're correcting some of those mistakes. So, I won't really call it a redesign, but you might want to think if you'd want to merge these two and then come up with one single case study or presentation where you're talking about this app in total instead of, making one version of it and then correcting on top of it, right? Okay, let's see what you have done, but I'm not going to go and see. See, this is not a Bahubali, the beginning and the conclusion. This is just a case study, I don't really have the motivation to go and read. So if this is something, and if I don't read this and I will not understand what is going to happen in this, then you need to correct it. It cannot be like that, right? Like I said, it's not Bahubali movie, it's just a case study out here. All right. And I also believe that Karthik is going to just simplify the event creation flow, not the entire app. So the Circle app is something which he has already, his mock project, which he has already made. He's going to just make the event creation part better. That's the sense I'm getting. All right. Overview. In this case study, I set out to make creating events in Circle easier and more straightforward. I developed a guided step-by-step process to help users with venue booking. Okay. I also thought about possible ways Circle could make money and grow in the future. Okay, let's see what have you done out here. The problem: current event organizing platforms primarily cater to event goers, sidelining the need of inexperienced event organizers. Is it so? Because see, any event creation platform or any event platform that you can think about, there's always statistics that play into the picture, right? There will definitely be more people who would want to attend an event versus organizing one. So the larger set of audience are always the event goers and not really the creators. Of course, creators are also there, but I don't know if they're sidelined as such, people who are organizing the event, because for everything that you see upfront, there's always a back end that is kind of fueling it. For example, if you take Swiggy food delivery, Swiggy is a food delivering app that way, but for that to function right, it also needs to have a leg where orders are getting accepted by the restaurant partners, where orders are getting accepted by delivery partners, something that connects all of them. So the same out here. For every event app, if it is focusing on event goers, and for that to exist, to do justice to that event goers, there has to be a side which is about organizing events. But if you're specifically talking about inexperienced event organizers, let's see what have you done for inexperienced people. Okay. This focus on event listing rather than on the creation process leads to a complex and discouraging user experience. Why? The focus on event listings rather than creation process leads to complex and discouraging user experience for whom? Why? Like I said, right? These are two sides of the same coin. For this to work, this needs to work. Although you probably talk about one side of it more often than the other, but that doesn't mean that it's always that way, right? But let's see, how are you highlighting some of the problems that you're calling out here? Okay. Causing potential organizations to abandon their initiative due to lack of clear guidance and support. Okay. I don't know. I can neither confirm or deny this, but let's have a look. The solution: hassle-free event creation. So there's a video out here which is just playing. Okay. I think this is again the snapshot, but I can't control it. Looks like it's a GIF one. So I'll have to see the flow. So you see, these video snippets that you add on the case studies are good. It gives a quick, summary of what am I going to expect. These are not really the right way where I can pause and see what is happening because, as a reviewer, I'll of course have to go through the details of it. So I'm assuming you have put the detail screen somewhere at the bottom. We'll have a look at that. Creating an event no longer has to be a daunting task. Circle simplifies the process, guiding you through each step effortlessly with an intuitive, user-friendly environment specially crafted for newcomers. Okay, so again, it's for newcomer organizers. Okay, a new organizer of event. Design your event with ease. Okay, simple and flexible booking. Okay, again, another video which I cannot pause, but I will go. But the more I look at this design, it feels very Airbnb-ish. It almost, if I just squint my eyes and look into it, it just feels like it's the Airbnb app. Not just the layout and the visuals, but also the colors. See, Airbnb is a great app in terms of, its functionality as well as in terms of its visuals. I personally love it a lot. But there is a thin line between getting inspired and copying. Actually, not a thin line. There's a fairly thick line between it. And when I look at it, it just feels like, it's a blatant copy. You found the right inspiration. Maybe just get inspired by it. It shouldn't feel like this is a product inside Airbnb, right? It's your own product, which is called Circle. So just be mindful about that for everyone who's watching this, including Karthik. Okay, say goodbye to the stress of venue hunting. Okay, Circle introduces a streamlined venue booking system where your preferences are where your preferences take center stage. You can specify your preferred location, time, explore. All right, got it. So based on your need, you're going to suggest some venues and you can pick a venue and just go ahead with that. Okay. All right. The process: competitive analysis. Before I started working on this project, I conducted a thorough competitive analysis. I looked into the user flows of several event creation platforms. That's a great thing. You should do that, obviously, aiming to understand how they worked and how they made some money. Okay. Some of the websites I studied are All Events, Eventbrite, and Meetup.com. Okay. So here is, some of the key features which are present versus absent, I guess, right? So user created events are not present in Eventbrite. So that is kind of a little different. So Meetup and All Events have it. Venue booking, nobody has. So Circle attempts to be the first one in the industry, I believe. And then customizable ticketing. Let's see what customizable ticketing is that Karthik is referring to. Looks like All Events have it. Okay. In this project's early stage, I analyzed popular meetup platforms and extracted user guidance strategies from Airbnb. Of course. And my friend, you have taken more than user guidance strategy from Airbnb at least. And meetups flow. All right. This insight shaped Circle's structured yet adaptable step-by-step event creation process, emphasizing user assistance and flexible personalization option. So user assistance is something which is being repeated again and again. Let's see how he has done it. User research. I ran a Google survey with 56 people to learn how they felt about creating events. Who are these 56 people? Because you are talking about event creation here. You know, when you pick a random 56 people, they might have opinions around attending an event. Like I said, there are more people who like to attend an event than to organize one. So even though 56 people have filled your survey, are they even remotely close to organizing an event? Right? So it's same as everyone likes to eat good food, but not everyone can or is willing to cook good food. Right? It's something like that. So for a survey like this, maybe it is also important to see who are you sending this to. It cannot be maybe random 56 people because this is a niche product that you're kind of making, right? Let's have a look. Most found the idea of creating their own events intimidating. Of course, you know, some of them may have never done it, but okay, let's have a look. To get more details, I interviewed 5 inexperienced event organizers. Some were completely new to event creation. Okay, all right. So are you trying to foster an event creation thing? For example, someone who has never created an event, you would want them to create, or you're trying to build a behavior in which people create more and more events? Is that what one of your goal is? Because I don't really see it in the overview or in the problem statement section. So it just feels like people who already have the intent of organizing event, you're just making it easier for them, right? Which is good enough. But here, when I look at it, I don't know, maybe it feels like you're trying to build a behavior. Let's read and understand further. Okay. These discussions helped me to identify the main worries, and I found they generally struggle with not knowing the steps in planning an event. Not knowing steps. Are you sure about it? See, an event could pretty much be a board game night with dinner that I'm organizing for 6 of my friends, or it could be, you know, a designers meetup with 500 people that I'm organizing somewhere, you know, in Bangalore city or something. By the way, that reminds me, if I organize an in-person design event in some city, will you attend it? Let me know in the comments. All right, coming back to this. So what I feel is whatever the event is, if I'm thinking of organizing it, I will probably know what to do. Maybe I will not know how to do that. For example, you know, to organize a gaming night, I know that maybe I'll need some food, I'll need some place to sit, I'll need some drinks, I'll need some music or whatever, right? I know all of these things because I'm planning that event in my head. But maybe I do not know, okay, where do I get the food from? Or where do I get the seating arrangement from? Or where do I get the music system from if I don't have one, and so on, right? So I feel it's not that people do not know the what to do. People probably do not know how to do them, right? So you might want to rethink this and rephrase it if you feel appropriate, right? Having trouble finding the right venue without help. Sure, again, you know that you need a venue, but you don't know where can I find the right venue, right? So it's not the what, it's probably how, right? Feeling overwhelmed by budgeting, time management, and overseeing the entire event. Okay, understandable. Next, using feedback from the survey and interviews, I started making decisions to address main issues and make event creation easier for inexperienced organizers. Okay, event creation process. The old design focused too much on listing events, making event creation hard and frustrating. I don't agree. Focusing on event listing shouldn't make event creation harder. They're not related. You're always putting it as if just because the listings are so good, or I'm focused so much on listings, creation is bad. That doesn't have to be. It's at least coming out that way. You might want to rephrase that statement. Understanding that creating a detailed event takes time, I designed a slower, more guided process to improve the user experience. Okay, let's have a look. Users often start with a little understanding of how to create an event. To help them, I broke down the process into 3 simpler steps, introducing them through individual screens that guide them on each step. Okay, let's just zoom into it. It says, step 1, sit back and relax. Tell us about your event. In this step, we'll ask you details like your... okay, got it. Then there is a next, and then there is an exit, and it shows me the progress bar. Step 2. So step 2 is when I hit next. Let's decide where your event will be held. In this step, you can decide your event location. Okay. And there's a save and exit. Okay. And then I hit next. Then it's step 3 almost. Then manage your event tickets and publish your event. This step you can add and manage. And again, it's a save it. Hold on. If these are one after another step, what exactly am I saving? Am I saving the history of me having seen the first story? Maybe something like this makes sense if each of the screens are the starting screens. For example, there are 3 large steps and each step has some maybe 4 or 5 sub steps, where I fill something or where I pick something and all, right? Before the beginning of each of these forms, if you show this to me, hey, now you're going to do this, right? For example, after step 1, sit back and relax, tell us about your event. So after clicking next from this, if you were actually asking me some details about my events, I understand, right? Because you just told me this is what is going to happen now, and then I fill it, and then I can save. Then that's when it makes sense, because I have given some input and I would want it to save and exit or save and proceed or whatever, right? But these steps, the way you have put them together, it feels like they're one after another. It just feels like more like an onboarding or a walkthrough. But then the way the content has been laid, it doesn't feel like it's an onboarding. This could be pretty much the hero slides for each section, right? Okay. Step 1, in this step, I focused on understanding a user's event plans by collecting basic details such as event category. Okay, got it. Event category in the old design. Again, old design part, I'll just skip it because you said that was not right. So, had it been a real app, then I'll be more curious. Okay, what makes you feel this is not right and all? But since it's your own design, and I'll just skip that part. Like I said, you might eventually think of merging both of them, right? Because see, both of them are your brainchild. Okay. All right, let's see. Instead, I chose to focus on specifying the activity plan for the event in the new screen design, thereby providing a clear indication of the event's central theme. Okay, so here what he has done is, what are you planning? This will help us find you the best venues and promote your event at the right people. So it's asking for the event, what kind of event it is. Is it like, what are you planning? What kind of event, or is it the name of the event? But I see there is a search, which means that if I search something, so it's probably not the name of the event, it's just the type of the event, okay? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Users can specify type, yes, making it easier for attendees to understand the event. Popular activities for quick selection. Specifying activity aid in suggesting venue. Specifying activities aids in suggesting venues, okay? What are you planning? When you search for it, it shows art exhibition, party, okay, got it. All right. How exhaustive do you think a list can be? Because, since these are user-created events, this could vary a lot. People could create events for anything and everything. So what's the other way out? What if I search for something and I had in my mind and I don't see it in the list? How do I proceed? If I search for art, AR, and these are say 4 or 5 or 10 options which are shown to me, and none of these feels like the right category for my event. So how do I proceed? I don't quite see it here. Event name and description. Again, this looks like the old screen. Don't need to compare so much, okay? For this case, for other redesign projects where a real app already exists, then yeah, this is the way to do. All right, let's have a look. I decided to split the input field into separate sections and added tips and examples in bottom sheets to save screen space. Users can also arrange photos in a way. Photos, okay, let's have a look. Event name. So this is the second step, I guess, right? Because in the first step, what are you planning? I have done, and there are 3 steps. It looks like it's a 3-step process. I'm in the first step, and then the moment I pick up my event type, I go to this step. I'm still in the first step. Should I not be in the second step? Because look like the first step is to pick the event type. The second step is to second step is event name and description, right? So I think it should have been here, probably just the progress bar. Okay, I'll let that go. See tips and examples, name of the event, tips and examples. Okay, maybe I enter something out here. And then how would you describe your event? People will see this when you publish your event, but you'll be able to update it later. Okay, I see tips and examples here also. And I also see generate using AI. So generate using AI is a nice touch because, at this step, you've already taken my name. So from that, maybe, you can generate something. But then why do you need tips and examples again? Aren't these like kind of the same thing? I'm assuming generate with AI will probably be more relevant because, it's creating on the spot using some things that I've already entered, right? See tips and examples. Uh, I just feel these two can be merged, right? And also think about it. This, I think, the event description examples. I'm assuming when you click on see tips and examples, this is the thing that opens up. Now I see the examples. Now what? For example, I like this example. How do I insert it? Am I expected to select, drag, copy, paste? No, I think you could give an option where I can maybe make some edits and add it as my description or something like that. This just feels like a read-only thing. It's not really helping completely. It's helping me to some extent, giving me some ideas, but I will still have to do the typing. I'll still have to copy, paste, or whatever is expected. And I'll be curious to know, what this generate with using AI does. I mean, that's very powerful. I think these two things can be merged, where you have an option generated by AI based on the title of your event or based on the category of your event. And then you have an option to edit it on the spot, if I feel that something can be tweaked, and then, select and proceed or something like that. I think this part can definitely be better. Okay. All right. So this is the second step. And what is this? I'm still in step 1 and I'm being asked for photos. Hey, what is this? The progress isn't moving or everything is a part of step 1? Everything is a part of step 1? What is happening here? Okay, progress within steps. So it has moved a little more. I guess that's it. Okay. All right. So there's step inside step. Okay. All right. Not the most intuitive thing. Like I got confused. Other people could too as well. All right. Let's see what it is. Add photos. Add some photos and videos of your event. Hey, the event is going to happen in the future, right? I'm writing an advertisement. I'm writing a listing for the event which has not even taken place. Where can I get the event's photos? I don't understand this, right? Because the event has not yet happened. All that I could upload is maybe some generic images or maybe pictures of past events. But then since you've spoken that these are for beginners, people who haven't organized events and all in the past, don't have a lot of experience, inexperienced people, they won't even have that, right? So on what basis will people pick images? What kind of images will people pick? Maybe a more relevant thing to do would be some header image for your event, which has the names or something. Maybe your Gen AI can help out here, but then gallery upload, I don't really understand what this would do, because I believe this can at best have generic images. If you say that, okay, no, it's an art gallery, maybe you can Google some art gallery images or art show images, and then you can upload them, right? How much of valuable that would be, I will let you decide that. Okay. All right. Drag and reorder. Again, reorder, all these things make sense when these are real images of my events, and this event has not even started. So I don't know this photo gallery thing helps or not. But I do feel that whenever you create a listing, it needs to have some visual thing which would anchor the user into knowing that whether they would want to attend this party or this event or not, right? So some amount of visual thing is needed, but I don't know if it's the photos or videos of the events because the event has not taken place yet. Okay. Step 2. Okay, now we come to step 2. So of the 3 steps, we were inside step 1. We were going through the sub steps. Now we are going to finally step 2. This is the old screen. I'm skipping that again. Venue booking. Okay. I brought venue booking to Circle to help inexperienced event organizers easily find and book venues with clear pricing and flexible payment terms. This feature not only facilitates organizers, but also can boost venue owners' revenues by attracting more booking, including those for shorter durations. Makes sense. Okay. Let's look at the screens. Okay. Select Circle venue. Sorry. It says select Circle venues. Where is your event going to be held? If you can decide your event mode, put your location or book versus what's happening. Where is your event going? You can decide on your event mode. Event mode. Okay, so I'm selecting an event mode, but why are you calling it where is your event going to be held? Because that feels like I'm going to pick a venue. Okay. Just look at this, right? The question and the answers are not matching. Where's your event going to get held? Check out venues on Circle, right? Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do better out here in copywriting, right? All right, let's see the options. Check out venues on Circle. Host events at Circle certified venues for amazing offers and discounts. Offline events, online events, recorded events. I mean, is that classification even right? Right? You're saying check out venues on Circle. You've spoken about venues, which definitely means you're talking about offline events, right? So should I, if I have an offline event in mind, should I pick the first option or the second option? Because that's how it is. And what does recorded event do? Recorded event is an online event, or it could even be an offline event where, everyone sits at one place and I'm projecting something like a movie theater or so. This groupings doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense at all. Maybe, if you want to see, is it an online event or an offline event? Maybe that's a high level question that you're asking. So if someone says it's an online event, well and good, maybe you can ask for Zoom details or Google Meet details or whatever it is. If someone picks offline event, that's when your things can come, hey, I already have a venue. Or show me venues by circle or whatever you have done, right? So this needs reclassification. These 4 options do not fit inside one category. And whether it's a recorded event or a live event or so, it's again inside online or offline, because an online event can also be a recorded event or a live event. An offline event can also be a recorded event or a live event, right? So this classification is wrong. You need to relook into this. Okay. Next one is help us find you the best venues. I'm assuming someone has proceeded with, check venues, because this was one of the things. Location, you put a location, you put a date, you put a time, and you can search for venues. What does this chat thing do out here? Who am I chatting with? Okay. I see this chat is present everywhere now that I see. What does this do? Is this help or something? If this is expected to be help, maybe this needs a better icon, because it just feels like chat. Chat with what? Chat with venue owners? Yeah, I think that needs a bit of work. Let's see. It shows me a list of venues. Again, too much like Airbnb. Not bad. Airbnb is a good reference, but then, bring your touch as well, which will make it yours. Right now, it feels like a feature inside Airbnb. Okay. Again, Airbnb is a good inspiration to have, but use it as an inspiration. Okay. All right. It says, there are certain details, and I would definitely, if I call Karthik for an interview, I definitely want to ask what made him feel that these are the right information to show. Okay. Venue details. It shows the venue details as a location, capacity. Okay. 4,800 total, because it says 1,600 per hour. Okay. So this is a venue that I will have to, as an organizer, pay to use the venue, right? So I can proceed and make a payment right away. Okay. Pay half now, half later. Okay. I have a couple of options. So either I make the full payment or I make the half payment. Available dates, available time slots are shown. Okay. It shows me 1,600 for 3 hours processing. First payment. Okay. First payment is probably the 50%, right? So here I don't see an option where I can pick. What if I want to pay the full amount now? Don't I have that option? Is pay half now, half later an option, or is it mandatory that I can at best or I can at max pay 50% only now? I cannot pay 100% even if I want to. Looks like that. Okay. So here, whenever you're making a payment, the total that you show is the final total that you're paying. So, it cannot be that you're showing total as 4,856 and then proceed to pay. Maybe there could be a bit of mismatch. So better way to do would be where you ask them, do you want to pay full or do you want to pay half? If you want to pay half, then your total is 2,842 and you're paying that, right? Because it's payment, you need to be objectively and, technically correct in everything that you say. Or if someone says, no, I want to pay the full thing, then your total itself becomes 4,856 and you go ahead and pay 4,856, right? So what you're paying should be the main thing out there. Okay. The screen also needs some work. Okay, I carefully consider the various factors that would influence how users search for venues, including the type of activity, location, date, and time. This approach allows users to quickly find venues that suit their needs using filters such as capacity, price. Okay, he's talking about this section. You carefully considered? Not really, because the first screen is totally wrong. And the last screen also, I think there is room for improvement because it's about payments and you cannot, maybe show one and take the other. It's not the best way to do. I wouldn't say that is fully wrong, but not the best way to do. The first one, I personally think the classification is wrong. That you definitely need to look at. Okay. Venue cards. Okay, he has done a comparison. I think someone has been watching my videos because everywhere I say that if I call this person for interview, I'll definitely have this discussion as to why did he choose this card versus not that. And the entire interview could also go on this discussion at times. So I think Karthik has seen my video, so he has already done it before even asking. Good. I like that part. Let's see. For the venue card iterations, I took into account the information that would affect the user's decision while selecting a venue. Great. ensuring that the venue, photos, name, space, type, booking, minimum, and total price were highlighted to facilitate easy and informed choice. Okay, so all right, so you have already figured out that these are the information which are needed for the user, which is, the things that you mentioned: venue, photo, name, type, space, whatever, right? So it's about how do you use this information and put it in a layout and see which one works the best, right? Let's have a look. Iteration 1, 2, and 3. So 1 and 2 are rejected and the third one remains here is what I feel. Let's see. Iteration 1, as the user will be looking for venues based on location and time, it's not necessary to repeat location on the card again. Okay, I guess this is a commentary of this card, because there's a Jayanagar 10 kilometers. It's not needed, is saying, because the user has just searched for that location. Okay, the tags are also not needed once the user specifies activity. And what's a tag? Oh, this one, this looks like a button. Art. This looks like a button. You have used the same style button in other places. This is not a tag. This is not right. Okay, major details like the venue capacity and the time slots are missing. Missing? Why? I mean, did you not say that, those are some of your essential things, that the venue, photo, name, type, and booking needs to be present, is what you've said. Why did you not put it? You first decide on the data that this information are absolutely important for the user to take a decision from this point to the next. Once you've decided that, why would you make an iteration which doesn't even have that? And then complain that, hey, this is rejected because that information is not there. Is this a bait? Is this a bait? No, please don't do that. I will catch it. So this is not even in the comparison, because you are contradicting something that you have said just before this. You said that those details are important and you haven't put it. So this is out of the question. Iteration 1 is not there at all. Let's look at iteration 2. Emphasize the information in the pills. Okay, these are commentary of this card is what I'm assuming. Emphasize the information in the pills and tags. Okay, this pills is what he's talking about. They're emphasized. Okay, but they might still feel tappable, so be careful. But okay, this is okay. Spacings and all are not fine. Okay, this is rejected, I understand. Pills and photos. Emphasize the photos. Photos are not emphasized in this, right? I mean, if I look the left and the right, the photos are bigger and much more in emphasis. Whereas here, it is a very small one. The photos are definitely not an emphasis. Emphasize the information on the pills. Are you talking about actions that you want to take over it? Or is it just a commentary on what I see at the top? Because here it felt like a commentary. Here it feels like what are the changes that you would want to make on that? I don't know. Emphasize the information in the... Okay, I'm slightly confused here. Okay, the pill includes the term packs. This is a shorthand for capacity. Sure. Need to keep it simple. The user might not know this. Yeah, fair enough. Packs is a very internal term which is used in travel industry and all. And airline stuff between themselves will say how many passengers and all. Okay, anyways. Final card. Okay, final card, you put the name of the gallery. It's a carousel of images. There's a way you can like it. Exhibition hall. 90 is the capacity, what I'm assuming. 3 hours minimum. So if someone books this, they'll have to book it for minimum 3 hours. Price, rating. Rating for what? Rating for the venue. Okay, got it. Use clear recognizable icons to display capacity and hourly minimums, making it easier for the user to make decisions quickly. Okay, all right. Included the type of space to provide users with the context about the venue. Okay, which is the exhibition hall. Total price shown for the selected time slot. Okay, fair enough. But then again, this is not, it's a misfit, because you haven't spoken, you've already decided some of the information which is important, and then you cannot have a variant which doesn't have it. When you decide on the information, all the other variants that you try should be based on some of the information that you've decided. The importance of certain information could swap, but here I see clearly different information being shown, right? All right. Step 3, in the third process, I focus on facilitating ticket arrangements, specifying event instructions, enabling publishing for the event seamlessly. Okay, ticketing system. The pay to join and attendee limit options might confuse users. Okay, introducing a straightforward ticketing system could be more user-friendly. Moreover, the current setup with numerous details on the screen could users to overlook important information. Okay, this is the old one, which I'm going to skip anyways. Let's see the new. I implemented a simplified ticketing system that allows users to manage tickets effortlessly. To grasp how the ticket proceeds would be transferred to the user. I study various platforms and their processes. Which platforms did you study? The same ones at the top? Okay, maybe there's value in mentioning that, because if you're studying ticketing, it doesn't have to be in the events world. You can go even broader, where there are other people. Someone might be doing ticketing for, I don't know, movies or something at all. So there you have broader ways to get inspired by if you're just trying to learning ticketing, right? So you don't have to restrict to the event apps that you have researched in the beginning of the case study, right? Users will need to share their bank details with Circle, from which a minor ticketing fee would be deducted and the remaining amount would be credited to the user's account. So this is more like a payout. So, I'll add my account and then the payout will happen via that. Okay, looks like it. But yeah, but I think it can still be simplified, because, bank details are too passe, bank account number, IFSC numbers are big. Maybe nowadays this is possible using UPI as well. Since you're designing for India, you might just give your UPI ID and you can get the money. Yes, there are functions, there are apps that are doing it. May not happen at a commercial level, but since these are inexperienced one-time user, two-time users people, it'll work perfectly for them. Might be even simpler, right? This would be informed to the user before they publish their event. Okay, let's see. Event access. Choose who can come to your event. Tailor your event's accessibility by selecting who can attend. Choose between a public event open to all or a private event gathering of invited guests. Okay, so public and private. Okay, hosting event at physical locations and manage check-ins at the doors. Private event, host event at a physical location and hey, what? Same description for both of them? I think this is, you probably copy pasted or something. So you need to fix this, okay? Again, you're talking about price. So maybe you're trying to say that a public event can be paid or free, and a private event is always free because they're invited guests. Is that what the assumption is? Because that is not clear. Technically speaking, a public event is where people go click and choose to attend. It's publicly available. I can choose to attend. And in the process, I may have to pay some money. I may not have to pay some money. Whereas a private event is when you're given an invitation. I don't have to go search for an event because I'm a big guy or I'm an important guy. The invite comes to me, hey, this event is happening. Could you join? Now, even that can be paid. Mostly not. It's like, you're inviting me and also asking for money, right? So what I'm trying to say is a free or a paid event is valid for public as well as private events. But here again, the classification isn't right, because you'll add ticket only for a paid event. So maybe the callouts could here be that it's a paid event or a free event. And whether you want to make it public or private could be, a setting later on, right? So public and private is not how you start adding a ticket, because a paid and a free event are valid for both of them, if I look at it. Okay, so this again, my friend, you're making mistakes in classifications. Think about how you group things. What are the things which sit together? Think about what will happen after this, what will happen before this. Then you will see you're not making mistakes like this, right? This is an error on information architecture, right? All right, let's look at some ticketing. Add a ticket. So I'm assuming, okay, standard ticket. So there could be multiple tickets, maybe, a standard ticket, premium ticket or something. Maybe I get to sit ahead, I get to sit back or whatever, right? All right, ticket, number of tickets, 100. Ticket price of the ticket is what I enter. The ticket description. Okay. All right, this is fair. But what I feel, since you've said there's a commission involved, right? A part of it gets deducted. Maybe there's some value in showing that right here itself. I know you've said that before, selling that event, you would ask for it. But I think there is value in adding it out here as well. For example, these platforms usually take something in percentages. 5%, 10% of the ticket goes to the venue partner, or 20%, whatever it is, right? So maybe if you could show, if the ticket price is 100, what you get is maybe 90 or 80. Maybe showing that also matters, right? And also, now that I look at it, in any kind of building process, the payment is usually the last thing, okay? Because payment is the most important thing out there. I see that you've already taken a payment and now you are here asking for the ticket price. You're getting it, right? So there's certain money that I spent for the event, and then I'm also trying to build tickets based on which I will I will make this event sustain, because I'll have to make some profit or at least break even out there, right? So I think there can be some correlation. Maybe you pick all of these things and towards the end, you go and make the payment so that you know that, okay, I've selected a venue which cost me this much. I put a ticketing which will be 100 rupees or 200 rupees. So maybe you'll do some mental math that maybe I'll be able to recover the cost or something. And then finally you go make a payment because now it feels like I've already committed. I've made the payment. And now if I feel that, hey, you know what, I can't get 100 people to my event and I shouldn't price more than that. So I will definitely be at a loss. So you're getting it, right? I feel the ticketing and the payment for the venue, can happen, doesn't have to be together, but the payment can definitely happen at the end. Because if I look at it, for example, if I look at it and I feel that, hey, you know what, it's not working out because I won't be able to sell 100 tickets and I cannot raise the price beyond it or something. So maybe I should go find a cheaper venue. So these kind of back and forth might happen for someone who's creating an event for the first time. So that's why maybe taking the payment is too big a commitment. You may have a lot of drop-offs out there that people go there, hey, I don't want to make a payment right now. But when you take them through the entire process and they know that, okay, that is the price of the venue, but then I can recover some of the cost because I have tickets and stuff like that, that makes it much easier for them to go ahead and, make a transaction and commit, right? I think that would be a better idea there. Okay. All right, previews and publishing. Okay, so after you've done everything, you've made payment for the venue, you have selected tickets. Now it's time to preview and publish. Great. Okay, it's time to publish. Here's what we will show people before you publish. You make sure you review the details. Okay, so this is a great step. I've seen it in many publishing platforms where you create something and then you also get to see a preview of how your users will see. That okay, this information comes here. Nice, and then you get a picture of how your users will see. That's a nice step. Let's look at it. My indie art exhibition, the Amber, it's in the venue, 400 per person. New. What is this new about? Is this rating? Like rating of what? Is this rating? Is it what it is? It feels like rating. Otherwise, why is there a star here? Like this event has not even started. It's going to happen on 20th April. And I'm assuming it's not 20th April whenever someone is seeing this. If the event has not even happened, where will the ratings come from? Right? Or is it a rating of the organizer? Because this doesn't feel like an organizer first. It's not my indie art exhibition organized by Saptarshi Prakash and Saptarshi's rating is 4.2 or something like that. This feels like it's an event rating. That's why you're calling it new since there are no ratings. Since the event has not happened, on what basis will people rate? Right? I know that you want to bring some sort of a qualifier which will help the users pick one event over the other, but then maybe rating is not the right way. Maybe you can show these many people have signed up for it. That shows that, okay, this is a desirable event. If the number is large or if the number is not so large, people can take a call based on that. But I don't know if rating is the right thing to do out here. Because see, the life cycle of any of these events would be what? 10 days, 15 days, or maybe a month. So for a month or so, people will keep seeing this. And on what basis will people rate? And how many ratings do you think you will gather? Right? Ratings make sense only when the number of ratings are higher as well. Right? 4.9 rated by 5,000 people makes sense. 4.9 rated by 3 people doesn't make sense at all, Okay. All right. What else is happening? So this is the detailed preview. If I click on it, it shows my indie art exhibition. This is the date. This is the venue. This is the organizer. Okay. Organizer information is follow. Where do I follow? Okay, this is a feature on the Circle app. Maybe the Circle app has some follow, unfollow sort of social media stuff as well. This is just one feature of that's okay. I'll let that go. All right, that's a description and there's one person going. Sure, this makes sense. How many people going does make sense. But if this is indeed supposed to be rating, that isn't making sense in my head at least, right? All right, let's see. Okay. These are the instructions, arrival time, food and drinks will be available for payment or whatever, right? Photography, videography allowed, but be respectful. Where will you be? It just shows a map, right? Map, you're showing a block of map, which is probably 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. That's a huge space. Put a pointer and maybe put a way using which I can tap on it and go see the venue on Google Maps and maybe measure the distance from my home or anything, right? This is just a blank thing out there. I'm not sure how much of it is helping, right? Okay, one more thing. This has missing information because see, this is a card. Tapping on it, if this is the detail page which your user will see, the detail page should be the single source of truth. So all the information that you see here on the card outside should also be present here in some shape or form. Right now, it is not there because I clearly see this rating or whatever it was that is gone. I clearly see that the price is gone. I don't see the price here as well, right? So these information needs to retain. And in addition to that, the details page should have more information. So that way, this detailed page is not right for this card. So you will have to revisit this as well. Okay, so you're getting it right. This is the main thing, and you're chalking some of this information out of the main and putting it out in the card. But here, the main thing itself doesn't have some of this information. So it cannot be like the information is distributed between the card and the detail. Don't do that, right? It's a detailed page of that. Okay, after this, event created successfully and you earn some points. Again, I'm assuming the points has got to do with the Circle app as such. Okay. Monetization strategies. Let's see. Subscription plan. Oh, okay. All right. Free event. What do I get in the subscription plan? Flex. Flex is the free one, I guess. Or is it? Okay. Free event creation. No free event creation. Pay per event. And in Pro, there is a tick. Means I can get free event creation. Advanced event analytics. No. Okay. These are some discounts and stuff. Hey, what is this free event creation? Because here, when I did free event as in the commission that you've spoken about, that whatever, 10%, 20%, which the platform takes, that is going to be free. Then you'll have to be more clear about it. Free event creation, it feels like, hey, I paid for the event. It doesn't feel free to me, right? So, maybe you can say waive off on platform charges or something like that. That is a better way to do it, right? But again, why will someone buy a subscription plan? Like, think about it. You are talking about people who are not active event organizers. They are novice, they are rookies, or they are noobs, right? They will probably organize just one event or maximum two. Why will they buy a subscription? A subscription makes sense only when somebody keep using something again and again. Maybe an Amazon Prime subscription or a Swiggy One subscription. I will buy these things if I order very frequently from Amazon and Swiggy. If I just place orders once in a while, I will not buy this subscription because it will not make sense for me. And from your user base, the problem that you are solving, what you mentioned at the top, where you said that it is for users who are new or who are inexperienced, would they really buy a subscription plan? Like, think about it. Okay. Many event creation platforms typically generate revenue through listing and ticketing fees. However, I aim to explore innovative monetization strategies. This is not innovative. Oh, okay, sure. See, it's easy to say that I'll put a subscription, but think about it. What is the motivation for someone to buy it? Had it been for, say where pro event organizers come, they are organizing, say 20 events in a month or so. For them, it makes a lot of sense. Charge a subscription fee so that you pay upfront, they pay upfront and they get some benefits and you get a continuous fixed set of money, right? It doesn't probably make sense for someone who is new into this or inexperienced. Okay. Venue booking, let's see, sponsored banner. Venue booking on Circle can be monetized through commission-based system on successful bookings. Circle venue recommendations could charge venues for a premium promotional services and increase visibility. Sure, this is a good way. So what he's saying here is, when I pick the venues, the venue owners could keep paying the platform, saying that, hey, you know what, someone has booked your venue through my platform, so you have to give me some money, some cut out of it, right? So it's a percentage commission that you charge from the event creators as well as venue owners. That is a viable business plan, perhaps, but the subscription, from a user backward point of view, I couldn't understand why someone would buy. If I call Karthik for an interview, I would definitely want to know about it. Okay. All right. So I think venue booking, that's it. Thank you for reading till the end. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you want to discuss further. Okay. So that's the end of the case study. Now comes to the most important, interesting part, right? The verdict time. Will I invite Karthik for an interview for the role of product design 1? My verdict is yes, I will call Karthik. Although the case study had mistakes, there were some issues, some errors which Karthik had made. But I think overall he has thought about a lot of these things, which a lot of designers at this level do not really think about, right? He has thought about different problems which the user may face at some of these places, right? What are some of the anxieties? He has thought about what information are important to be shown on a card, which is essential for the user to make a decision and so on. So that level of thinking is good. And And even the craft, finally, what he has made, the output is pretty good and professional, although it is very, very, very much inspired by Airbnb. So that's a feedback from me. You need to, bring your own identity as well and not just blatantly copy what Airbnb has done from a visual or a layouting point of view. But overall, the replication is good enough, is what I'm saying. So that's why I feel I would definitely want to give Karthik a chance by inviting him for an interview. And then maybe I will ask some of these questions and understand his opinion. And based on how he justifies, we can eventually figure out whether he proceeds to the next step or not. So that's all for today, folks. Thanks a lot for watching it till the end. I hope you learned something new. And I hope you had fun as much as I had reviewing this case study. If you want your case studies to be reviewed, go visit my community, nas.io/Sapta. The link is in the description. Join that for free and drop your link on the forum, which says, I forgot the name. What is it? Which says showcasing design portfolios and sharing feedback. Drop your link. Every week I review one case study. So that's all for today. Please subscribe to my channel because the subscription numbers do motivate me to create more and more content for you. Share this with everyone, like it, and do everything good that you can do to me. Thank you. All right, see you on the next one. This is Sapta signing off.